Alright, hello everybody, this is Demon coming back for another round of Final Fantasy XIV. So, if you remember last episode, we finally got back Eorzeea from, what was it, Almarang? Something like that? Close enough. But unfortunately, when we got there, we learned about the region, we learned how the Sin Eaters are formed, we learned the problems that the people would first deal with because of the corruption of the Sin Eaters. And more importantly, we've seen what happens when they do get infected and the light consumes them. Tessallian has now become a Sin Eater and is flying around her merry way somewhere else in oblivion. While Azay here returned here with pretty much ready to continue the fight and more resolved than ever to finish it. But let's go and talk to Crystal. So we gotta find Alphino. You'll visit Alphino in Kholusia then? Excellent. As I mentioned, your destination is an island off the west coast, so you will need a mount capable of making the journey. As our introduction, present to Shazam Shajamai, Master of the Beast at Tenemos Rookery, and he will take care of you. See, Alphino, be sure to pass on my warmest regards. Probably won't. I don't believe in that. Oh. That does not taste good at all. It's okay coffee, but I need better coffee. Tastes bland as hell. Now you're wondering, that's because last episode I said I had Mickey D's. Guess what I got? Coffee from there. Guess what it does? It sucks. Oh, name is unknown to me. What business have you at my rookery? I dumped some of my creamer in there, but it tastes better. Signed by the Exarch, no less. Yes, I can provide you with MRO for passage to Kholusia. I will pick you out a friendly whelp. MRO are off news here for travel then? And there I was expecting a chocobo. Right, mounts like my grey friend over there are common sighted in these parts. How do you hail from a further afield? More accustomed to chocobos, perchance? I hear there is a few places where they ride little elves. Seeing you're playing accustomed to riding tomorrow, I think it's best I accompany you on this flight myself. Any Zune worthy of the name could do it, of course, but the exile seems to me sent you to me. Ensuring you arrive safely is my responsibility. Gather your things and meet me at Almaro launch. One of the junior attainments will tend to you while I ready the mounts. Which, if I remember right, is up top, so we actually have to travel back the way we came. Jump over this thing, just got enough loop. And then we're up a set of stairs, go talk to some people, get some stuff done. All in good time. Ah, such a great game. Also, I double checked, so I only have 2 episodes recorded. I don't know how many more I want to do. I want to keep recording, but I'm getting an itch for other games. And as much as that's the thing, I know if I make myself keep playing, I mean, I love this game. But it's like, eventually, like, there's a point your brain reaches where it's just like, you know what, I just can't keep going, man. I need a break. I've been playing a lot of Final Fantasy. Like I have all the Stormblood done, everything. I said I wanted to get to Shadowbringers because how much I like it. I'm finally here, but my brain's telling me stop. You want to fly tomorrow to Kholusia? Oh, well, I suppose if Master Shamai is going with you. May I please? Master should be along with the mounts shortly. You can now travel to Kholusia. Speak with the aspiring and the armor tamer to fly to the island. Oh.
The whistling breeze, mute. The pounding surf, frozen. Time itself takes a breath. At light's edge, all is perfectly still. The world captured in a painting, locked in a moment. Music, faint and fleeting, drifts coastward on the lifeless air. And in the distance, beyond the broken earth, a city beckons.
We have arrived at Scrackshell Beach on the coast of Kholusia. You should be safe here for the present. Here in the mainland, Sun Eater's attack are far less prevalent, and the native beasts are not any more dangerous than anywhere else. It's the people you should be wary of. Good man. Spying you that city in the distance, that is Yomo, the island's main settlement. It rivals the Crystarium in scale and was once an ally in our battle against the abominations. Can they just register back in? For years, the Morian elite have fancied themselves the master of what remains of our broken world. They have gone as far as to offer the leaders of our other settlements their protection, if we bend the knee. To say their ideals are questionable would be putting it mildly. Crystarium is one among many who resist their heavy-handed authority, and while we are not at war, our relationship with Yulmore is strained at best. Maybe wise to conceal your ties with the Exarch during your stay here, especially in the vicinity of the city. That gives you an idea of how relations are working. I'm glad we understand each other. Now the Exarch has instructed me to divulge a secret that should make finding your friend a good deal easier. Listen closely. If you head south along the coast, you'll eventually come to a fisherman's shack. A friend of Crystarium lives there, a man who goes by the name of Eivor. Eivor keeps an eye on everything that happens in Kholusia and will be able to point you out in the right direction. Just hand him a sprig of thyme, that will let him know you can be trusted. Yeah, this should be enough. Find a friend. I will stay here with the Amaro until you're ready to return. Okay. Oh, it says hobgoblins. That's something else. I thought they looked like dodos for a second there for me, so I thought sort of laughing my ass off. I was like, what the hell is a dodo? It's like I'm playing Ark for the first time. Oh my god, I have an itch to play Ark now. God damn it. I played that game for a while. Like, I played it because it looked amazing. It's a decent game. I'm not gonna doubt it. Ark Survival Evolved is actually a pretty decent game. Like, it has a lot to work with. The mods came out for it, and it expanded it to let it really be fun. But I don't know. I just feel like there's could have been better. What you after? Fish, crab? Think I've got an eel in a barrel somewhere if you got a taste for them. Oh, I do love a bit of thyme. Chuck some in the pan. It's like a bloody festival flavor. Now, what is it I can do for it? Can't say there's been any major upsets to report these past few weeks. I'm looking for Alphino. Alphino, eh? I know the one, our young champion of the downtrodden. Emma's richer than all of Norval put together, but it's a different story for them as they live outside the city. Most spend every waking moment just trying to stay alive, which makes your friend's dedication to helping others stand out all the more. I can hazard a guess as to where he is now. Get a message to him, but you'll need somewhere quiet to meet, away from prying eyes. Make for Still Tide, that's the fishing village's path up here. You're looking for a rundown excuse for a tavern that looks called Leaky Keel. Wait there, and I'll see Alphino joins you. Okay. Yeah, I forget the last thing I did in Ark. Like I played the console version probably more so than the PC version. The PC version, like with my old rig, it went pretty fine. Playing 1080p, no big issues, stuff like that. But I'd like to see how it would run now. I'd have to see, but I doubt it'd run perfect. But probably run a lot better now that I have a better processor and everything, more RAM. I don't know though. Depends. I know the games always depend. I know the GPU. Actually, wait. I don't remember if I have a better GPU. I don't know if I played it with the 1080 or not. At the time, I had the RX 580 when I really played it. I can't remember. Oh my god! I wonder what it would be like with 1080 with the 1080. This is your first time tavern. It's customary to buy a drink if you mean to loiter. What will you be having? Ale, mead, water. I don't know. Ale? I know, those are exotic. Where'd you come by coins like that? I'm sorry, dear, I don't doubt they have value, but I don't have a touchstone to test their purity. I'm about to go begging for one from the neighbors, so we'll just have to come to some other arrangement. Here's an idea. There's a common to the north where we grow our vegetables, but lately the pests have been eating more than we have. What do you say a bit of extermination work? We just squash any vermin you find and visit the caretaker and give him an earful from the sleeping on the job. He'll be an old silo next to the fence, snoring like it's not. Do that for me, and you can laze about here as long as you like. Okay. I know, there's a lot of games I want to play, man. I mean, I'm having fun with this. But it's just like... I think I'm starting to get to that point where like people always reach when they play a game where it's just like you need your itch is gone, the drive is gone, like the thing that makes you want to play. Like I think I'm getting burnt out, which I never thought was possible for me. I mean, actually, I'll be totally honest. The burnout's here now, but if I got a little bit further, it would come back. I'm 90% sure for some reason it will come back. It always does. It's like when I play Left 4 Dead 2 still. Like, I played so much. Actually, no, Left 4 Dead 1. If I was playing Left 4 Dead 1, then I'd be concerned. But I'm playing Left 4 Dead 2. Like, I played so much Left 4 Dead, I thought I'd never want to play that game again. Because I had a friend that made us play it, like that's all we played. We played that for months straight. Just me and them. And I'm like, I was surprised I could still play it. But it's just like, after all like the mods and stuff you can download for that game, like, the love for it comes back with a vengeance. Especially when you get the gun mods. Oh my god. M1 Garand, STG 44, MP 40. I think I have a mod for every one of those guns. No response? Maybe you need to knock louder. Okay. I didn't really knock, but okay. No response, perhaps you're concerned hard of hearing. Your face quick from the room beyond. Time to burst in and save the day, brave adventurer. North's home and joined by lack of furniture. There haven't been for some time. All scraps of vegetables on the floor suggest rats have taken up residence in their absence. Okay, that looks like whoever the caretaker is dead. Multiple chances. 1. Got killed by a wild animal, is now dead. 2. Sin-Eater came and killed him. Again, same thing as a wild animal almost. 3. He actually became a Sin-Eater. Actually, no, there's 4. Before he just walked away. Yeah, that's about right. There's about our 4 options. Yeah, time to go talk to the lady and have some fun. Welcome back, dear. What did the good-for-nothing caretaker have to say for himself? Well, he's not there anymore. Oh, gone? Must have left to join the rest of the hopefuls. Gate Town, outside Yulmore? You don't have a clue about what I'm talking about, do you? There was something you were another dreamer. Well, never mind out. All that. Take a seat wherever you like, dear. You've more than earned it. I'll even throw in another drink on the house. Am I drinking water, or is my character drinking ale or mead? All concerning. What's the blue stuff?
And how is business today, Mistress Theva?
Oh, frenetic. Look, I have a new customer.
What up?
'Tis good to see you, my friend. The barley seeds you wanted. They should produce a better harvest than the last.
What, just like that? Oh, Alfino, you really are a dear. Well, I'd best be tidying up some of those empty shacks before the pests move in. Keep an eye on the place while I'm out, eh?
seems an age since last we spoke. Not since the prisoner exchange in Doma. And Yotsu.
Oh,
It has
God.
been even longer for me, of course, if you count the days I've spent here. But the time has only added to the relief I feel seeing you safe and well.
So we lost you? Me, I was more worried about you. Of course we're more worried about Alpha now. Got screwed, man.
Alize said much the same thing. I don't think I've ever had such a scolding.
Oh, I wish I was there for that.
But I believe an exchange of news is in order. Come, tell me of your arrival and all that came before.
Tell me about the scolding. I wish I was there for it. That would have been amazing. He probably got cussed out. Oh, I love memes.
I see. Both the Exarch and Alize told me what they knew of events, but I had stubbornly clung on to the hope that all-out war might yet be avoidable. And poor Tataru. She must be sick with worry. We must endeavor to return as soon as we may. It would be nice to bring her good tidings for a change. But before we bid this world farewell, we must first ensure that it is not rejoined to the source. We must prevent the 8th Umbral Calamity. Urianger's vision of the future has, I fear, every chance of coming true. By his description, the catalyst for the Calamity was a formless and deadly weapon employed by the Garlean Empire. Which can only mean one thing. Black Rose. Gaius was telling you the truth. When we were on the trail of the Ascians, we saw evidence that the gas was being manufactured once more. Gaius was adamant that the project had been scrapped. But so long as there are wars to be waged, there will always be those determined to win by any means. And thus simply destroying the existing stores of Black Rose would do little to alter fate's course. In that sense, our involuntary journey here to the First was something of a boon. Together with the Exarch, we've developed a theory as to how we believe the rejoining will be set in motion. I'm sure Urianger himself will cover the subject in more detail. But I can tell you the process requires that both worlds, the Source and the First, be facing an existential threat. One being Sin Eaters, of course. They are a menace that I would dearly love to remove, and not just to avert a calamity. I may be a stranger to this world, but I will not stand idly by and let innocent people be slaughtered. That is what brought me to the gates of Yulmore. Ignoring its pretensions as a kind of capital city to what remains of the world, it is nonetheless a center of power and authority. If any solutions are to be found, I believe our search should begin there. What say you, old friend? Hungry for another adventure? And so we take to the road once more.
Do it. Ah, my ear. It's attacked. Assuming you have no objection, let's make our way directly to the city outskirts. If we time our arrival just right, you may be lucky enough to see why I've yet to set foot in Yulmore. Despite my best efforts to do so. Come from here, we must head west to... Oh god, and then cross a small bridge. Oh, there's the bridge. I'm trying to think how much more does part 1 last to? I actually can't remember how long part 1 lasts. It goes on for a fair bit. Cross a small bridge. And I see Alpha now, I think off in the distance. Alright, Alpha now. Kholusia seems peaceful, does it not? Almost familiar. I had a similar impression of the Castarium. Even in the distant world, people are much the same. Thanks such whenever I clearly struck the source of reflection such as this one, with all its culture and history, was being erased from existence. No, get away from me. Over there. Quickly, someone's in trouble. Quickly, rescue. Damn it, Rock. Alright. There they are. Oh, thank the fates, look out. Okay. And Kapuya. Yeah, I don't care enough to do it again. Nah, 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 nah. Poor heart, thank you, young miss. Ah, there you are. In my haste, I lost my bearings, but I see you have the situation well in hand. Fine work. Rain, madame. Just a few bruises from where I fell, nothing compared to what was in store for me before this brave soul came to my rescue. Honestly, I thought I was done for. My feet are not as swift as they once were, and I know there was no one left to hear me scream. Not that I felt that stopped me. I should probably leave my old house behind and queue up outside Yulmore with the rest of them. Doubt fancy lords and ladies welcome an old crone like me. Still, even a shack near the gate has to be safer than staying here. One would hope. Either way, I suggest you avoid wandering alone, unless you make the Sin Eater's task any easier. Thank you again. You saved my life. Now I'm sure a strapping lass like you had little to fear, but I wouldn't linger long in this place. There's naught to be had here but cobwebs and memories. 'Tis as the lady says, many in these parts have abandoned their homes to live in Yulmore's shadow. Should the Sin Eaters descend upon this region, they are precious few with the strength to fight them off. Speaking of which, what have you been told of these monsters? Ah yes, as they would be well qualified to speak on the subject. Compared with Amarang, Kholusia is almost a haven, but as you saw, we cannot let our guard down. Had you arrived but a few moments later, the Sin Eaters would have claimed another victim. Still, we have won a small victory this time, at least. Now, shall we press on? We need to return to where the road forks and follow the path that leads west. Alrighty then. Ah, such fun. So we're heading to Yulmore, at least the outskirts of it. Oh, I remember this place. This place sucks. Not in terms of like it sucks because it's like bad. It sucks in the fact that I just can't stand the people that live here. They're the prissy bastards that piss me off. Like, oh, I'm so rich. Look at all of my money. Oh, look at me. I'm a fancy little prick. I'm just like, good for you, mate. Now tell me, what have you contributed to society? I sit on my ass and do nothing. Good for you, dog. And here we are. And you have this outskirts, a bunch of poor people that keep trying to get in there because they're idiots. Go make a better life for yourself. Quit living in the shadows.
That gate up ahead is known as the Open Arms, and Yulmore itself lies beyond. This, meanwhile, is the aptly named Gate Town. The dwelling place of the many desperate souls who hope to be chosen to live in the city proper.
Ah, I thought I recognized you. Brought a new friend, eh? I'll bet you got a trick or two up your sleeve. Maybe even 3. Care to show me?
She's not here to compete. Leave her be.
What? I was only making conversation.
I like the fact that Alpha defends your character like that.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please!
Oh, I hate these two.
Greetings to our hopeful petitioners, one and all! Yulmore extends its warmest regards. Let it be known that a lady of distinction wishes to dine on fish divine. We seek a master culinarian who can guarantee seafood perfection. Dazzle the matron with your delicious dishes, and life in the city will be yours to enjoy, even on days when fish is not on the menu!
Speak the English and not in a stupid way like this.
Who among you will answer the call? Name yourself or another. We might not at all.
Fish, is it? Was there anyone?
What about that girl?
Do you recall how I said Yulmore was a center of power and authority? Well, that is not the only reason for its fame.
Yeah, its other fame is it's full of idiots.
It is also known as the City of Final Pleasures. The noble and the wealthy who survived the flood gathered here to live out the rest of their days in decadent abandon. A poor man could sooner pass through the Iron Needle than Yulmore's gates. The only way the common folk can enter this perverted paradise is if they fulfill the whim of one of the privileged. And so they are picked over like market produce.
Why do you idiots try to get in there? Go live life.
What a catch! We'll not be throwing this one back. Having seen your all too obvious charms, we welcome you with open arms. Come, join us in the City of Splendor and live out your life in an ecstasy of endeavor. Oh, just look at those expectant faces. What could you possibly be waiting for? Well, what have we here? An extra share of meal to celebrate our newest resident! For you.
Ah, look!
Enjoy!
Thank goodness.
Over here!
Meal is a foodstuff which Yulmore routinely doles out to the people of Gatetown, and apparently a staple for its citizens as well. Many here rely on it to survive in these times of scarcity. Yet the whole arrangement just seems... well, let's just say it leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
You're weird. I hate stupid people. Let's all sit out here inside the closed gate town and try to get inside this place full of wealthy people because the wealthy people have everything. Why the hell don't you just go and walk in that direction? Go find something, and go do something with your lives. Oh, we might all die. Oh, so I'd rather be dead than living here. Now I understand why my attempts to enter the city have thus far come to naught. The dubious privilege of residency must be won via contest with ever-changing rules. They say the policy has been in the place for the past 2 decades, ever since Eorzeans' current ruler came into power. And from what I've seen, it does more harm than good. Not only does it distract people from our shared struggle against the Sin Eaters, it robs them of their self-sufficiency. I try to propose ways they could improve their lot, but my words firmly fall on deaf ears. The attitude is so entrenched now, I worry that, well, mayhap you should take a turn around Gate Town and judge the situation for yourself. Again, just walk away. Yeah, I'll take a measure, but I'm just going to sit there and give my opinion. Again, full of morons that can't figure out that if they just leave this place, it's perfectly fine. It's like living in a big city. A bunch of idiots live there. They all complain and bitch because they don't get anything, nothing gets done, and they vote the same idiots in power every single time to do jack nothing. Put somebody else in there that'll actually do a job, and you'll freaking get everything done and handled. Still, here are you? Can't blame me for wanting a slice of Eorzeans pie. If you ask me, you should ditch that sour-faced brat, make a home for yourself here. It has not much to look at, aye, but at least it's safe. The meal is the best thing I've ever tasted. It's like when I went to Chicago. I never felt such great depression in all my life. I could feel the negative energy, and if you go somewhere, all people do is drink wine and beer. Actually, they drink a lot of wine. I don't know why these idiots drink wine, but my god are they stupid. I mean, I don't even drink alcohol. I don't see a point in it, but if I live in a big city, I definitely ain't going to go to some random place on a riverfront and spend my good money on wine. You know what I'd do with that money? Save it. That or actually spend it on something that's enjoyable. What the hell is drinking wine going to do for you in Chicago? Especially with their homeless problem and everything. Oh my god, don't get me started. Large pot bubbles over the flame, pale chunks, mule. You realize float in the otherwise plain broth. Like, I have spent so much time. I spent several days there, and I didn't know peace until we left it. We left that place and went to some nice small town on the outskirts in the suburbs. It was peaceful, it was quiet, everybody seemed like they were in a cheerful mood. Like, the light was there, just like I can imagine a more beautiful city. Every day I dream of the life that waits for me inside those walls, oh, and they will ever pick me. Like, I had, my, like, level of energy was like, it just rebounded instantly. It's just like, I don't get why people go to big cities. Like, Washington, D.C. is the only other big city I've ever gone to. And, like, when I was in D.C., I loved it. Because there's so much history and there's so much, like, museums and stuff to look at that I can... And it's the way it's structured, it's not designed to be a metropolis. And that's what I like about it. So it's like an okay, decent-sized city. But that goddamn Chicago. Don't get me started. Seeing what Gate Town has to offer, these people can no longer fend for themselves and become dependent on handouts of mule. I believe Eorzeans is the answer to all there was. Yet no matter how I frame my encouragement, they seem unwilling, nay, unable to conceive any other way of life. Approve of these people's way of life, you disapprove of Eorzeans. 'Tis difficult to make a final judgment without first seeing the city's inner workings. Mayhap that is uncertainty which always makes me feel so ill at ease here. Not that it matters, however unjust the system seems to me, if these people claim to be content with their lot, it is hardly my place to criticize their choices. But take the elderly lady you rescued. Does it not seem that those who have chosen to forgo Eorzeans' lodges are doomed to suffer for their independence? In the end, they are all but forced to seek refuge in Gate Town, and so hamlets and fields across the islands are left empty and unattended, hastening the region to set into ruin. Nay, I'm not convinced that Eorzeans' generosity serves the best interest of Kholusia's people. I am not so naive as to think there is some miraculous solution to all this, yet I cannot help but frown at the sight of hard-working villagers struggling to survive, even as the chosen few rejoice being plucked from poverty by the hand of a capricious noble. There has to be a better way. I should not know for sure, however, until I have taken those long-delayed steps through Eorzeans' gates. It's fortunate you arrived when you did, Hydaelyn. I've been working on a scheme to insulate myself into the city. If all goes to plan, it should come to fruition. There's a beast tribe who makes its home in the seas under the island, the Ondo. They are called, though you and I know them as the Sahagin. For the most part, they keep to themselves in their ocean grottos and rarely have dealings with land dwellers. But Star looked at such great pains to press upon me during our stay in Kugane, business favors the bold, and so I reached out to them. I duly discovered that the Ondo are ordinarily fond of land-grown produce, fresh fruit in particular. When I offered to produce such goods for them, they promised to pay me in pearls. Attractive business venture for any prospective investor. Would you not agree? Surely you have the most jaded Elmorian lord with time for a merchant who can make pearls from plums and pumpkins? Damn. Yes, I've come a long way since my days of buying samurai swords without first negotiating a price. My appointment with the Ondo is due to take place in a few hours. I just need to collect the produce and meet with them on the shore. Will you help me make the exchange? Excellent. I should be glad of your company. First things first, we must pay a visit to Moshamoa, my supplier and right. Come, it is to northwest of here. Ooh, we have a friend. Actually, there's another thing I can think of. I think I've been to Pittsburgh, too. I'm not a fan of Pittsburgh, either. I agree with my grandfather when he, how he used the phrase Pittsburgh to himself. He said it'd be really good if they just got the atomic bomb and just planted it dead center. And just rebuild. That's how he described Pittsburgh to us. And after he described that, I was like, that's how I feel about most of our big cities. I'm like, just drop a bomb, blow it all up, and restart from the ground up. Because it's probably a lot easier. I don't know, man. I know some people live in big cities. Hell, there's probably people that subscribe to this channel to live in big cities. I mean, if you can live in those places, God bless you, but I can't. Like, they are just messes. They're just a big mess. All it is a giant tax-inducing piece of crap town that can't be sufficient in of itself, so it relies heavily on the state governments to provide them most of their funding so that they can even be able to do a damn thing. Because nobody wants to live there because the taxes are too high, and if they do live there, they're so damn rich, they probably pay out most of the damn politicians anyway, so it's like, it's a win-win. I don't know, that's just me. I'm here. This is Moshamoa, the farmer of whom I spoke. Actually, the easiest way to describe that is like Disney. Like, Disney owns everything in Florida. You don't question Disney. Nobody questions Mickey Mouse. Except Chinese. Is there something I can do for you, friend? Good day to you, Moshamoa. This is my associate Hydaelyn. We are here to collect the produce I purchased. Huh? I loaded your lackey up with the goods not long ago. My lackey? I know of no such person. Mr. Lad, short blue hair. No, he just come on your behalf, and since he seemed to know all the details, I just assumed. Found that someone must have been eavesdropping on our conversation. If this charlatan was here not long ago, he cannot have gone far. We should split up and search the area. You find a vantage point outside of town, and I should take the west. No problemo. I don't know, that's just what I've always felt like with cities. They're just not designed to be efficient. At least self-sufficient. They're not designed that way, and usually the people who get put in power aren't designed to do anything. I know I'm getting into politics, but I don't know, it's just my feeling on it. It's just a big mess. It's like, I get why people want services and stuff. I get the 100%. It's understandable. It's like, but you have to be willing to accept the fact that sometimes costs are going to outweigh what you're able to actually want. It's like public transportation. It makes sense. It's a good thing to invest into because usually in the big cities it's hard to have enough room for everybody to own an individual car. It's almost impossible. The sourcing, the planning, it's all a pain in the ass. It's so difficult to be able to do. So it's like public transportation there would make sense, but at the same time it's just like, who cares? It's up to the individual to decide what they want to do. Like me. See? Just like me. I'm gonna end the episode, see? All that fun stuff. Mainly just because we're I think we went over a little bit. I think we're a little over 30 minutes. I think next episode we should be able to finish everything else here in Yulmore. I'm pretty damn sure I can. Maybe I'll keep going on a tangent about cities. I don't know. Depends on how I feel. So with that, guys, as I was saying, I do kind of like this beginning section of this one. This one's pretty fun. As I said before, I find it really funny when you deal with Alphino when you're in Gate Town. And the one guy just starts propositioning your character, and he immediately stands in front of you to make sure the guy doesn't mess with you. It's kind of weird. Because it's like, your character's the warrior of light. You can kick everybody's ass, but Alphino has this sense of, I'm going to stand in front of him so he doesn't get near you. Very funny. Can't imagine what it'd be like if you had a male character there. Probably be a little bit different. I don't know. But that, all I gotta say is this. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Come back, everybody. We'll look at the search thingy and see if we can find the blue-haired, well, they call them Mistles, but I'm just gonna say Makota. Because that's where we're from. And that's what I respect. I like our language more. So, sure to see you guys next time. Thanks.